Today we are going to talk about how to add some sewing detail to the background of your self-portrait. Remember, we're going to glue our self-portraits onto our background paper, so you're going to want to think about where your sewing is in relation to where your portrait will be. We're going to use two tools that we've never used in the art classroom before. The first is a needle to do our sewing. The second is a needle threader to help us get our thread onto our needle. The way that this works is the hole on the needle threader is much bigger than the hole on the needle, which makes it easier to put your string through. I'll show you that in a minute. We're also going to be using this embroidery floss, and I want to show you how to get your embroidery floss out of the spool. We hold carefully, not super tight, but carefully, and you can see on any of these that there's a tail hanging out. As we're holding carefully, we pull on that tail. You want your string to be about the length of your arm. And what we're going to do is we are going to put our needle threader through our needle. Then we can put the thread into the needle threader. Pull that through. Next, we pull the needle threader through the needle, and it allows the string to go through the needle hole. I'll show you that one more time. First, you put the needle threader through the needle. Then you put the string through the needle threader. Pull it through a little ways so that it doesn't come out as you're working. Next, you can pull your needle threader through your needle. Oops, my background is coming along with me. And then it's on there. After that, we're going to want to tie the two ends together to make sure that they stay and to make sure our string stays on the needle. I do this just like a knot if you're tying your shoe, a double knot. That means I make one knot and then I make a second knot. Some people will also want to make a third knot. That's okay too. Now my thread is completely on my needle. After you've decided where you want to do your sewing, you should flip your paper over to start on the back. This is the ugly side of the sewing. We don't want that face up. So we're going to start in the back and just very carefully push your needle through the paper. You'll pull it all the way through until that knot catches. Then you can turn your paper over and decide where you want your needle to go in again. I'm holding the side of my paper and pushing my needle in to make sure that I don't accidentally poke my finger on the other side. I'll pull that all the way through until it's tight. Then I can flip my paper over and do it again. You can make whatever kind of path or pattern you want with your sewing. Just always make sure you pull it tight all the way through. Flip it over so you can see what you're doing on the other side. Pull it tight all the way through. Flip it over. Now, I don't want my leftover string to be on the top side. I want to go back to the back side, the ugly side, to leave that. So I'm going to do one more. Push it through, pull all the way, and turn it over. When I'm ready to call this done, I can snip my extra thread off. Then I'll just use a piece of masking tape to tape down this back end. Just to be safe, if you wanted to tape your first end, you could as well. It's got a knot on it, but sometimes the paper gets a rip in it from that knot and it can come out. So you could also rip a piece off and do your starting piece as well.